Hey guys, Flora here to do Bjd Prompt 2. I think it's the fears in the ball joint doll hobby. When I first started this hobby, oh right, and I have Kelly here, cutie, patootie. But when I first started the hobby, I think my biggest fear was dropping them because I would be on like the forums or in a group and I would just hear these horror stories about them dropping and that their whole face would be messed up or a piece would be broken. And I think even now, even though I have sadly dropped so many of my dolls, I still have a fear of them terribly breaking. And I mean, I have like messed up the nose, well, not on her, but on I think Nathan, his nose. It, like, he fell forward and it wasn't even that far, it was just on the counter, and he fell forward and now he had got like this dent in his nose, and I had to sand that down. But after that I'm like, oh, that's all that happens when they fall. But I know one day one of mine is gonna break. um I think my next fear would probably be buying a sculpt that I did not like at all. Like with Gage, I made it work, but there could be a doll that just no matter what I do doesn't work, and that was because I hear all these people, I'm selling the doll because it didn't turn out the way I wanted, or I'm selling it because it took so long and now I have another character for it. And I'm thinking that's crazy. You could always just switch them around or make another character for them, but I have that fear that that will happen to me one day, to where I just put out all this money for the doll, or it could even be just $100, but still for a doll, and then it comes in after what, I think that's the shortest, 3 to 9 months, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this wasn't what I wanted at all. But I have this bad habit of buying dolls and then making characters for them, or making art, like digging out my journal of stories that I've had since I was probably 10 and thinking, well, I could bring this story to life with this doll. I think my next fear is because I've been seeing it a lot, is getting scammed when I buy a doll. And it just recently, this year and last year, I've been seeing some horrible horror stories about just they would do a trade and they wouldn't get the doll, or they would get a rock, or they will buy all the money. They would send all the money, and then the person's like, well, I'm not giving you the doll because I don't want to sell it anymore, and I'm not giving you the money. And then it just all kinds of crazy things. And to me, I'm kind of a shy person, so it would take a lot for me to come out and actually do something about it. And that's why I'm so scared, because if I was more like out there, I would just be like, okay, cops, post office. But you know, I'm like, well, I mean, they have their reasons, right? But yeah, I think that is my biggest fear now. Um, I think before I started modding, my biggest fear, before I realized how the face was sculpted and all that stuff, I thought I would just mod it all, sand, and there'd just be this hole where, I don't know what I was thinking, but there'd just be this hole to where there was no more resin. And like I went all the way through the head. And I don't know where that thought came from. I'm guessing just new whatever jitters. Let me see if I can think of any other fears that I have. probably losing parts to my doll, because when I restrung, I almost lost a hook for the foot. And she's wearing her high-heeled feet right now. Because yes, I did I was changing her feet over, and I thought, okay, these are cute and all. I'll change them back. And there was no S-hooks anywhere to be seen to change them back. And sold all their S-hooks for their heel feet are already kind of sculpted or molded into the feet. So she's going to get some high-heeled shoes soon until I can find some X-hooks that go well with her. If she wants to, yeah, these heel feet make it horrible for her to sit. But see, other than that, I did when I had my first restringing, when I was restringing Nathan, I did have a fear that he would either pinch me, which he has, but I'm used to that with where I work. And I was like, I read the story to where this girl got like an S hook like gouged into her thumb, and I'm like, no, thank you. But I heard to where it's like it'll get their nail, or I'll get a finger, or I'll get snagged, and I was terrified. Cause I'm a klutz. I mean, I got this right here, if you could see it. It's like a scar right there from opening Scarlet up, and my cat decided at that moment she wanted to trip over everything, and I decided at that moment I wanted to look away from the X-Acto knife. So yeah, but I don't really have a fear of taking my dolls out. Because that's the thing, first thing I did when I got Nathan. I got dressed up, I had him dressed up, and we were, well, her, and we were out and about, restaurants, stores. Now, I don't know if it was because we were in a bigger city or not, but not that many people, like, they would ask to touch him or hold him or how they should hold them. They didn't just, like, all grab, except for, I think it was last month, I went to a laundromat with Cutie, and this kid thought, oh, I want your doll. And she just jerked Cutie off of the table while I'm like holding on to Cutie with a death grip. And well, it was the worst scare I ever had in my life with my dolls. But and I don't really care about where it looks because I cosplay. So I'm used to getting where it looks, and I'm kind of weird anyway when I'm out with my friends. When I'm by myself, I'm that nice, quiet girl that no one ever notices. But when I'm with my friends, I'm that kind of loudish, talkative, fake laugh girl. But not really fake. It was like that, like I got hooked when I was a little kid onto that anime laugh, and it never left. Let's see. Oh, custom fees. I haven't got it yet, but I am afraid of one day buying a doll so expensive that custom is going to be like, you owe us your life. I mean, I think United States is $800. I don't know, anyone can correct me, but I think if it's a toy, they don't do custom fees unless it's like a certain amount, like the toy's valued at a certain amount, which I'm so glad they see my beautiful works of art as toys in that retrospect, because normally I'd be like, their collections are not toys, even though you may see me talking to them like Barbie dolls, but they're not. Let's see, any other fears? Well, I've started to use a hot glue gun with my dolls, and not really not really like on them, but I was using a low temp hot glue gun on Cutie's feet to make her some flip-flops. And at first I was thinking, oh God, what if I burn her, or oh God, what if just anything. And so but then I remember, oh, it's low temp, not a high temp, which is why I don't have a high temp hot glue gun, just so I don't get confused and an accident happens. But other than that, I think those are really any fears I can think of. I mean, other than when I'm going for a walk and I have my dolls for a photo shoot, and I always walk near lakes, and I always have to take pictures near lakes. I'd always have this thought for a second as I'm trying to stand them up straight so they won't fall over, that they're going to fall off a bridge into the water. And I can't swim, so they're gone. And or I'll have to go up to wherever they wash up to or sink to. I don't know what these babies do. I mean, when I clean them, they sink when they fill up with water. So I'm going to expect they're going to sink to the bottom of the lake. And anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching my video. I don't know when the next addict prompt will be out. Maybe next week. Only did the prompt and the tag together because I didn't see the tag at first, and I wanted to make sure I got that in before I forgot. So anyway, bye!